Hello everyone, back tuning in a second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days. So today's second video, which will take us around the 17th of February. So we're extending into the second half of the month with the week to 10 day video update time frame. Now we'll have a look at the CFSV2 at the end of the video. For the next month as well, for March, so it'll be coming up at the end of the video. We'll begin with, of course, the storm that we've got coming up over the weekend. Storm Caira will be bearing down on us through Saturday night and into Sunday as well. So we'll start off with that. Just say JMA Friday has been released. That's a month-ahead look ahead, taking us into the beginning of March. And tonight we're going to have a live stream starting at 7:45, 7:45 this evening. We're going to do a live stream on the YouTube channel. We're going to talk about Storm Caira, I'm sure, and also have a look at risk of some snow parts of the country next week via cold northwesterly winds. And no doubt there'll be a little bit of discussion about the winter as well. If you want to take part in the live stream through the live chat, then just subscribe to the Gaz of this YouTube channel. We'll be starting around 7:45 this evening, probably running till around 8:45, 9 o'clock, something like that. So that's this evening. But before that, we've got the week 10 video update to do. So let's get on with that for you right now. So you're going to start off with the latest GFS forecast wind gusts beginning today. So relatively light winds today. Winds are picking up a little bit compared to the past couple of days, but overall not too bad in terms of wind through the course of this afternoon. Overnight, the winds do freshen a little bit, particularly up the Irish Sea. So 14 mile an hour gusts possible around those Irish Sea coasts overnight tonight. Pushing inland later in the night into tomorrow morning. Then they sort of ease down through the course of tomorrow morning before picking up again in the northwest tomorrow afternoon. So this is 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, looking very wet and windy by that point across western Scotland down into Ireland. Strong winds up the Irish Sea too, talking about 60 mile an hour gusts in some places. That first area of very strong winds transfers over to Scotland. Winds picking up across the rest of England and Wales too tomorrow afternoon. But it's really tomorrow evening that the winds, and in Sunday, but winds are up there worse. This is 9 o'clock in the evening tomorrow. We've got 60 mile an hour gusts widely there across northern parts of England and around these Irish Sea coasts as well. And then the winds strengthen further as we move into Sunday morning. So this is how things are looking at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. Very windy across much of the south and southeast. Gusts of wind going up to 50, 60 mile an hour, quite wide. Well inland as well. So we're talking about parts of the Midlands down to southeastern England, 50, 60 mile an hour. Gusts around these western Irish Sea coast, again 60, 70 mile an hour gusts look possible. And winds strengthen further then through the morning. So we're up to 70, 80 mile an hour gusts then up the Irish Sea, around those Irish Sea coasts. And they transfer across England and Wales through to the middle of the day on Sunday. So there we are, midday on Sunday, widely across England and Wales. We're talking about gusts of wind 60 to 70 miles an hour. That's 71 miles an hour being predicted there around London. That's very, very windy for inland parts of England. So there is going to be a risk of disruption with this, most definitely. Could well be travel disruption and disruption to power supplies and such like. So it's very windy through the afternoon on Sunday, again 60, 70 mile an hour gusts. Then things begin to ease down a little bit into the evening on Sunday. Still very windy, but the gusts just starting to lower a little bit. But we're still talking about 30, 40 mile an hour gusts even into Monday. And these southern areas around these western coasts, again, some very strong winds during the course of Monday. So a real battering is coming up, and there have been weather alerts issued by the UK Met Office. So we're at the weather warnings page at the UK Met. No warnings for today, but as we go to Saturday, we can see we've got various warnings here. We've got wind warnings for Scotland, Northern Ireland, North West England and northern parts of Wales, as well as rain warnings as well. But as we've already established, it really is through Sunday that things get quite serious. So that's the situation in terms of the weather warnings on Sunday. We've got widely across the whole country a wind warning is in force. There are also various rain warnings for like the Midlands, parts of Wales, Northern Ireland, Northern England too. Those are all yellow warnings, but we also have an amber wind warning for the south on Sunday, which is a little bit unusual. We don't always get amber warnings. So you see widely across England, Wales, there is, widely across the UK, there is the yellow warning for wind. But that amber warning, really from Brighton, really from Portsmouth, I should say, over towards kind of the far southeastern corner of the country. That's where we got that amber warning. And they're saying Storm Caira will bring a spell of very strong winds. Disruption is likely during Sunday. You can expect probably some damage to buildings, such as tiles blown from roofs, longer journey times and cancellations likely, excuse me, as road, rail, air and ferry services may be affected. Some roads and bridges are likely to be closed. Injuries and danger to life likely from large waves and beach material being thrown onto coastal roads, seafronts and properties. There is a good chance that power cuts may occur. And of course, there's likely to be travel disruption as well. So that's where we've got the amber warning. And then widely, of course, we've got the yellow wind warning. So it looks really nasty. Beginning tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening in the far northwest, and then becoming widespread across the country Saturday night. And the worst it looks like it's going to be sort of Sunday morning through to like mid to late Sunday afternoon. That's when it looks like winds are going to be at their worst. If you're at all worried about your safety, if you've got anything planned for this weekend, if you're worried about your safety, then do check out the severe weather warnings and the advice from the UK Met Office. We don't issue severe weather warnings at Gals Weather. It's the only place to go for weather warnings terms of your safety is to the UK Met Office. So we'll link, of course, to the weather warnings page in the description at YouTube. We link to it at galsweathers.com, the website as well. And check out those warnings. If you've got anything planned this weekend, then have a look at those warnings and see what's going on. But it looks like we're going to be in for a nasty spell of weather, especially on Sunday. Right, just a quick look at the stratosphere. So this is how temperatures are currently looking at 10 HPA over North Pole in the stratosphere. The grey line shows where we've been at 10, well, grey line shows where we're trending, I should say, where the trend is, which is lifting up, getting warmer at 10 HPA at this time of year. The black line shows where we've been and where we currently are in terms of those temperatures at 10 HPA. And you can see we have had a warming of the stratosphere over the past few days. So from where we was at the beginning of February to where we are, where we were a couple of days ago, we've gone something like that's 10, 20, 30, 40 degrees. We've lifted temperature up by around 40 degrees from minus 70 to minus 30 during the opening days of February. That's fallen back a little bit now. It's still a bit warmer than average, though. It's fallen back just to there. This is short of a sudden stratospheric warming. What we would class as a definitive sudden stratospheric warming would take temperature up to this sort of level. Nevertheless, quite a significant warming of the stratosphere has taken place, although, as I say, that is now beginning to fall back. If we go a bit lower down to 30 HPA, closer to the troposphere, we can see that the temperature is also beginning to warm up there a little bit as well, going from like minus 82, perhaps minus 83 at the beginning of the month, to around minus 75 maybe at the point we're at now. So again, a warming of the stratosphere is taking place at both 10 and 30 HPA, or has taken place 10 HPA, falling short of a sudden stratospheric warming, and probably won't have all that much impact on the troposphere. This is how temperatures are currently forecast at 10 HPA by the GFS and for the next couple of weeks as well at metroseal.fr. So where we've got these green and yellow colours, that's where the temperature is lifted up to 10 HPA in the stratosphere over the Arctic. That is going to start reducing now. in the days ahead. Let's run through and see what happens. We've got the blue colours, that's where the cold temperatures are at 10 HPA. You see how those cold temperatures gradually start to push back into the Arctic and into the pole, going back down to like -60 to -70 as we get through to the middle part of February. On this temperature scale, let's go back to 10 HPA on this temperature scale, that will take the black line back down to sort of that level. So probably even going a bit colder than average by the middle of February with temperature at 10 HPA once again. In a more extended range, this is how things are looking. So we keep those cold temperatures, those blue colours going over the top of the Arctic and the pole as going to second half of February. In fact, no sign of another significant warming of the stratosphere taking place up to the 23rd of February. It's looking increasingly likely now that this winter will not have a sudden stratospheric warming at any point through it. And of course, not every winter has a sudden stratospheric warming. Some winters don't, and this could be one of those winters that is not going to have a sudden stratospheric warming. This from weatheriscool.com. This is depicting the strength of the zonal winds. So when the zonal wind is strong, then the westerlies are powering up. We've got a very strong polar vortex. When the zonal wind is weakened, then we've got weakened westerlies and weakened polar vortex. We have had a very strong zonal wind really through this winter. The blue line shows where there have been lots of coloured lines on this. The black is the trend. So the zonal wind should be weakening at this point of the year as temperatures are lifting up at 10 HPA. So the zonal wind should be weakening. The blue line shows that through most of this winter, dates on the bottom, zonal winds have been stronger than average. They did go a bit weaker than average right at the very, very start of the winter, at the beginning of December, but then through the first half of December, they powered up, became almost to record strong levels around the middle part of December, and have generally stayed stronger than average throughout. Again, we went through a phase of record-breaking strong zonal winds back through the middle part of January as well. This, of course, is February where we are right now. And since that record-breaking burst of zonal winds through the middle of January, the zonal wind has been weakening. And in fact, just recently, it's gone close to average. It's returned back to the black line for the first time, really, this winter, certainly since the start of it anyway. You can see the GFS ensembles, though, those green-coloured lines, they are powering the zonal winds up again next week. So zonal winds going very, very strong next week once again, possibly going perhaps not quite to record-breaking levels, not going to quite to date record levels, but nevertheless, the zonal wind really powering up a lot next week before perhaps dropping back a little bit into the second week of the GFS forecast period, see what I mean, which would be like second half of February, but still stronger than average even then. The other coloured lines are from the CFS V2. We've got 3 pink and 1 blue, and it is now not until March that the CFS ensemble members are taking the zonal winds into reverse. So remember when we looked at this a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago, we have zonal winds going into reverse in February with quite a few of these CFS ensemble members, I should say. Now it's happening in March. This blue one goes for a reversal of zonal winds in the middle of March. This pink one does also. The other two pink ones, I don't think get the zonal winds into reverse until into April. That's very late to get a reversal of zonal winds and would be associated just with the cyclical end to the polar vortex as we're going deep into the spring. So at the moment, it looks like we're not going to get a sudden stratospheric warming this winter. We may not even get one and a reversal of zonal winds in March either. It could be that we'll just see a gradual fade out of the polar vortex without any sort of sudden stratospheric warming to kill it. We could well just see a gradual fading away of the polar vortex as we go deeper and deeper into the spring and head towards the summer months. That could be what's going to happen this time. I think this blue CFS member he's going for a sudden stratospheric warming. That's a very dramatic reversal of zonal winds, and possibly this one just here as well. But that's both into March, and there's a time lag between getting a sudden stratospheric atmospheric warming and reverse zonal winds and effects on metropolises. So any effects that probably won't be felt until April anyway. But the other two pink CFS runs, they are just going for a gradual sort of end of the polar vortex, in a cyclical manner. As you get into the spring, the polar vortex will always weaken the further into spring you get. We'll keep a close eye on what's happening in the stratosphere, of course, over the next few weeks and see whether we do get an SSW at some point. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. On at Salford today. So the red line is 30-year upper air temperature average for Salford. Rather up and down for the next few days. We are in a zonal spell of weather, so we've got these warmer and cooler sectors alternating with one other. Start of next week we'll have a cold snap. More about that tonight when we do the live stream. We'll see whether there's going to be a little snow potential as we go through into the early part of next week. Second half of next week sees the upper air temperatures lifting up again, probably becoming rather milder, and then into second half of February, that's this period just here, we do see quite a lot of scatter then into the second half of February. So there are several ensemble members that are going for really mild weather in the second half of Feb. Others though down here are quite a lot colder. So second half of Feb still looks like it's up the grabs at the moment, and we should wait and see what's going to happen there. But probably the GFS ensembles, if anything, do favour milder weather to continue second half month. Precipitation-wise, well, big rainfall coming up on Saturday night into Sunday associated with Storm Caira. Then we have this more colder spell of weather. But not completely dry, and there will be the risk of rain, showers, and possibly sleet and snow in with that as well. Beyond that, generally staying quite unsettled. We did think that in the second half of February we might have a more anticyclonic period. I'm not sure there's tremendous evidence of that within the GFS ensembles today. Temperature anomalies from the 7th to 15th of February, a bit cold on average in the north, a little bit mild on average in the south. Precipitation anomalies are widely wetter than average across the whole of the UK and much of Western Europe too. It does look like it's going to be a very, very unsettled week to come. Right, so that's how the GFS looks for Monday. So on Monday we've moved Storm Caira out of the way, but we are still in this very strong run of northwesterly winds, which will be cold as well and probably driving in snow showers into northern parts of the country in particular. We stay cold and windy into the middle of next week, and then another area of low pressure is moving in on Thursday. That brings a renewed bout of wind and rain across the country, possibly hill snow associated with that. And remember, GFS does this for the 14th of February. This is a week away. It's Valentine's Day. It does bring up this secondary area of low pressure into the south, and it's moving to quite cold air as well. So actually the GFS 6 o'clock run did go for a little bit of a snow event down in the south at the end of next week. It's a week away, so almost certainly won't verify, but quite interesting what the GFS 6 o'clock run was doing there. That low gets out of the way, and we're just driving in more low pressure as we move up towards day 10, so remains quite cold and unsettled up to day 10, which is the 17th of February. This next low pressure pushes across the country, bringing rain and possibly snow on its northern edge. When that gets out of the way, we turn the wind into the north then, and it does go a bit colder as we get into more extended range with this GFS run, but it's not long before milder, wetter, windy weather is blasting back in on the 23rd of February. No particularly dry interlude involved in that. I can show you the precipitation type forecast with that GFS run from the weather outlook. So let's just go there, and we're on Monday, so we've got lots of wintry showers in the north at 6 o'clock in the evening on Monday, increasingly to snow into low levels across Scotland. They carry on in northern western areas through Tuesday as well, possibly one or two even getting inland. So I think one of those the early part of next week could be one of those periods where we see perhaps even a few flakes of snow coming down into more southern parts of the country. Middle of the week sees the showers tend to pull back a bit more towards western facing coast, many inland areas becoming dry. Then on Thursday in comes that next batch of rain, hill snow associated with that in the north, mostly rain down in the south, clearing to wintry showers again by the end of Thursday. And then here comes that little area of low pressure from the southwest, that secondary low. 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday, bringing heavy rain to the southwest. A little bit of snow with that for southern parts of Wales. And then look what it does through the morning on Friday the 14th of February. A heavy spell of snow then pushing across much of lowland southern England in towards the Midlands and East Anglia. That will give a dumping of snow across much of the south before it pulls away into the North Sea by the end of the afternoon of Friday the 14th of February. But we do get a bit of a snow event there, the first time that we've seen that being forecast by the GFS at any point through this winter. It almost certainly won't verify. But there it is. That's the first time we've seen that, I think, a snow event being predicted by the GFS for the lowland southern England during this winter. So that's quite noteworthy that that has happened in the 6 o'clock GFS run. This other GM is looking, so again, windy and showery for Monday. Wintry showers in the north, snow down to low levels through the early part of next week. Here's that next area of low pressure on Thursday, bringing another bout of wet and windy weather, and then into the extended range up towards day 10, generally mild with southwesterly winds and also very unsettled too with the GM. ECMWF again, cold, windy, showery for Monday, and we keep those cold zonal weather conditions going into Tuesday as well. Slightly drier and calmer on Wednesday. Next low comes in on Thursday, rain in the south, hill snow in the north. That one clears away on Friday, building up a little transient ridge of high pressure then, turning us drier for a day or so before we're back into milder southwesterly winds up to day 10. In fact, very mild probably by day 10, which is the 17th of February. Long fetch southwesterly, but also more rain associated with that, particularly in the north and the west. This is a precipitation type forecast from the ECMWF, for the ECMWF from Tometeo. So today we've got rain, patchy rain coming into the west. Most places dry though. That shower rain spreads across the country and dies out tonight. Then we've got the start of Storm Caira there, Saturday night into Sunday. Very wet initially and very windy in the north and west. And then the strongest winds, heaviest rain transfers southwards. Really wet across many parts of England and Wales through Sunday, and also stormy as well. That wet weather gets out of the way and we're left with lots of wintry showers packing into the north and west for Monday. Snow coming down to increasingly low levels, and that carries on into Tuesday too. We go slightly drier through Wednesday, and then the next batch of rains moving in from the Atlantic on Thursday. Again, for northern Britain, definitely the risk of some snow, more likely rain down in the south. That one clears out of the way, and we go drier and colder briefly at the end of next week. Before then we start to pick up those long fetch southwest winds. Rain comes back to the north and west, but not too much rain, you'll notice, down in the southeast. That's how I look at day 10. Quite wet across western parts of England and Wales by then, and that's going a little bit colder for the far north of Scotland. These are options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which is the 17th of February. This is from my Icelandic Met Office. 12 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to our south and low pressure to the northwest, and bringing up a very mild southwest wind, mild and unsettled with those. 11 with low pressure to the north and the west, again bringing up a long fetch southwesterly, very mild. 9 with low pressure just a little bit further away from us, slightly more influence from high pressure to our southeast, looking very mild. That includes the operational and the ECM control run too. 8 have low pressure in the middle of the Atlantic, high pressure across France into the UK. That's a drier option, would be mild, winds in from west-southwest. 6 with low pressure driving in off the Atlantic, very unsettled, and then 5 with low pressure to our west and high pressure building to our east. That might be bringing some slightly cooler air from off the continent, but generally the ECM ensembles are looking mild or very mild at day 10, 17th of February. In 2 weeks time, easy options that we've got in the ECM ensembles is 22nd of February, have 12 members of the ECM ensembles. Low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south. We're bringing in a westerly wind. 12 with a low pressure 12. Again, with low pressure out to the northwest, high pressure over just to the east of the country. That's a drier option. Could be a little bit chilly, especially at night with that. 9 with low pressure out to our west. Let's change the colour. High pressure sits just to our east. Probably bringing in quite a chilly continental flow. Frost by night, maybe relatively pleasant days though. 8 with low pressure still just driving in off the Atlantic, very unsettled. Another 6 with low pressure just out to the northwest, very unsettled with those again. And then 4 hinting at a Scandinavian high, probably bringing in an east wind. That's the coldest option, but only 4 doing that. We may see a trend there towards higher pressure again as we get to the 22nd of February. Finally, for March, is how the 7th V2 is looking for March. So it's 700 millibar high normally for March. Going for, again, just a continuation of what had all winter really. Pattern continues for March. Above average heights to the south, below average heights to the north. There's the southwesterly winds. It looks like it's another mild month. The only difference probably is that it's rather dry with more influence from higher pressure. Temperature anomalies for March being forecast to be a bit above average, not substantially so, but it is a slightly milder than average month. And precipitation-wise, near normal, so not as wet as it has been previous winter, as that high pressure is closer to us from the south. But overall, still in a west-southwesterly pattern, and therefore just a continuation of what had all winter, just a rather drier variety of that pattern. Right, so that's it for your videos for today, but not for the content, because we are going to be back tonight with a live stream. So at 7:45, we will be live on the Gaz Weather's YouTube channel. We'll be talking about Storm Caira. We shall have a look at the chance of some snow next week. I'm sure we'll do that. See what snow risks are. No doubt we'll go through the midnight, but through the midday operational runs as well. We'll take some of your questions too. I'm sure the way this winter has developed will come up. So we'll be taking some of your questions from the live chat as well. And just generally having a bit of a discussion on the YouTube channel from around 7:45 this evening until probably 9 o'clock, something like that. So if you want to get involved in that, subscribe to the Gaz Weather's YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to get involved in the live chat. And we'll see you at 7:45 this evening. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.